do have.
Well, anytime you have a starter out, it's not good for your team. So, I mean, for them, I imagine they'd love to have him out on the field. And so at the end of the day, we're just going to continue to do the same thing. They're going to run the same defense with or without him. So it's just all about the awareness of if he's out there or not, and just the experience that he'll bring when he's on the field.
With the exception of Georgia and obviously Washington State, how important is it for you guys to get off to a fast start and get those points on the board early?
Yeah, it's extremely important. Whenever we've been able to get some first downs, whenever we haven't had a penalty on a drive, our touchdown rate's extremely high, and so we know that. We just got to go out there and execute.
The touchdown to Troy Franklin on Saturday night, seemingly was a broken play, but you were able to find him, and he made a spectacular catch, of course, in the end zone. Can you maybe touch on the connection you've gained with Troy and some of the other receivers in the core, like Chase or Chris?
Yeah, Troy's a baller. He really is one of those guys that he's a gamer, and when the lights turn on, he just shows up, and he's constant all the time. And he makes big, explosive plays, as we saw 2 weeks ago, and then obviously that really good catch he made at the goal line this week. You don't see that a whole lot. And to be honest, when I threw it, I was expecting either a throwaway or he'd have to make a crazy catch, and that's what he did. And so I was really pleased with that, just his effort. He's really turned it on this year, and he started to play like a veteran. And obviously with Chase and Chris kind of to back him up, adds two more explosive guys. And we saw Chase with the screen. Not many people knew he could run that fast, but I think he just adds that veteran on our team, on the receiver squad, that kind of helps those guys out.
Troy seems really advanced for his year in terms of the details, like the foot drag, some of the stuff he does on the sideline. Is that something that comes with hard? Like, does that?
Yeah, well, he's a very savvy guy. I'm sure coming out of high school, he was like that. And it's one of those things you can't really teach. You guys either got it or they don't. And he's a really good, smart football player. I think he's got great football instincts. That's one of the best things he has, and that allows him to be even better on the field. So when you put his talent with his instincts and his awareness, he's just able to do things like that. Like on Saturday, he knew exactly where he was on the field. He knew exactly how he was going to catch the ball, and he was anticipating the catch. And so things like that just make into great plays and great players. And so I expect a lot out of Troy because he's shown so much already, and he's proven that he can handle a lot.
So you're not going to be looking too much for echoes throughout plays for them, but when you have a linebacker that's disruptive, particularly when it's off the line side of things, does that change in terms of just even mentally going? You may not be able to cut back that direction if that guy's a confidential RT or something.
Yeah, no, not really. I think our game plan, they don't do anything necessarily outrageous, so our game plan is going to take care of a lot, and then their football instincts are going to show up after the play is already going, and that's kind of what makes it a good competitive game. And so we know that, and obviously they know it too. They still got to tackle us and bring us to the ground.
How has married life treated you so far?
It's been really good. I've been extremely fortunate. I'm blessed beyond measure, that's for sure. She's been awesome to have around. She's just one of the best things in my life, and I couldn't thank her enough for all she's done. She had to go all the way across the country too, and start a life of her own. And so I'm extremely just blessed to be here. We have a great community around us. Just formed some great friendships already. So it's just a blessing to be here.
Back to Troy real quick. I asked him about that catch. He called it a routine catch. Is that something that you see him do often in
Yeah,
practice?
he makes catches like that. You should have seen the one he made today. He just, when the ball comes to him, he just got a knack of like catching it. Like it's what receivers do, and that's just what he does. Every once in a while, he'll have close ones to where he don't always all in, but you're like, wow, even the adjustment and the process of getting two hands on it for him is impressive. So to be honest, wasn't surprised he caught it. It just kind of happened so fast. I thought he might have been out of bounds, but the fact that he caught it and was close, I wasn't surprised, but I was just really pleased that during the game they called him in, and obviously that's a great play for him. And yeah, for Troy, that's kind of usual, and he just hasn't had a chance to showcase that just enough so far to the rest of the country.
5 games in, outside of the penalties of last week, what sort of, the next step for this offense? What do you guys do have to improve on?
That's a good question. It's just kind of growing with the details of our plays. I think we have some really good schemes, and when we run it like how it's supposed to be ran to perfection, obviously it's really hard to stop. Our coaches do a great job of putting us in situations, putting guys in situations where they're good at. And so our next step is just the fine-tuned details of each play and making sure that we're doing those correctly so that we can have more explosive plays, and then playing without the ball with effort. I think if we fix the details and if we have maximum effort, we could become just really high-powered and really explosive on offense.
How often do you run something? Because in your two
Yeah.
attempts, you've been pretty good from a field position standpoint.
I mean, from 8th grade to my senior year, I was the punter, so in high school, and so that was fortunately for me, I was punting all the time back in the day, and so I kind of just have that just kind of good feel for it. I guess I've been doing it for a long time, and we practice it enough to execute it on game days. But at the same time, we got to practice a lot of other things before we get to punting.
Is there a read there, or is that just do you know that's a punt all the way, or is there any read for you to do something else with it?
Well, there's scheme to it, and every once in a while, I mean, obviously the offense is on the field. If we knew we were going to punt, we'd probably just put the punt team on there.
Right.
And so there's scheme to it, and our coaches do a great job of like putting us in situations again to where we can kind of keep them off balance. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.